Hey everybody, Tim here for today's Star Wars review. We are starting a big chunk. We're starting the Clone Wars TV series, the long series. So it started in 2008, so a few years after Revenge of the Sith had already ended. And I mean, it's actually kind of a masterpiece of a series. Just the way that the animation is done, the acting, the storytelling, everything about it. I'm super excited to really get started in this. I'm pretty sure I can binge it pretty quickly because it ended really abruptly. Like it was just canceled. And so, like, season 6, I believe, was well into production, and then it was canceled, and so they were just kind of left hanging there. And now that Star Wars has been bought by Disney Plus and all of other stuff, they're doing the new final season, where some of those unfinished episodes are now being completed, and it's giving them a whole brand new season. By the time I or at least catch up to that, it should be over, so I can seamlessly just go right through it. So I'm really excited. I have watched this before, and it didn't really do a lot for me at first, which I'll talk about in a couple minutes. But I'm really kind of excited to do this again. Now, all of that being said, the first time I watched this, years and years and years ago, it was in broadcast order. And at the time, I didn't even pick up on it or realize it, but the episodes are not in order, like chronological order. And so since then, other people who are way more into it than I am, and even Disney Plus has released like the official viewing order. And that's how I'm going to be doing these reviews. So to see if kind of the storyline makes a little bit more sense. So it's not going to be like, here's season 1, episodes 1 through 6 or anything like that. It's going to be more of in parts. So this is going to be season 1, part 1, like the title said. But I'm going to do 3 for this one. It's going to be season 2, episode 16, Cat and Mouse. Season 1, episode 16, The Hidden Enemy, and then the Star Wars Clone Wars movie, the pilot that was like kind of started everything, which just already you can kind of see like it's kind of everywhere. So season 2, episode 16, Cat and Mouse, which is technically the first episode, takes place before everything else, before Ahsoka and everything. And it's kind of funny because as I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't get why this is the first episode. But it's just all about them being on the planet Kratosis, I believe it was called. We see Bail Organa, which is great to see him after the Clone Wars and knowing Revenge of the Sith and stuff like that. Mostly what makes this episode is Admiral Trench. He's just a giant spider. Like, it's super awkward to watch because I'm like, I don't get, like, they're not really trying even. But then you think, like, go back all the way to the classics and, like, Admiral Akbar, and his species is literally called the calamari, and it's like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. But yeah, he's just a giant spider. The interesting concept about this episode is the cloaking ship, which was really nice. And I hope we see it again. I don't really remember ever seeing it. But like I said, I watched this so long ago and I wasn't really into it. Like I just kind of did it really quick and dirty and was like, okay, now I've watched it, I'm done. And then I moved on to Rebels. And so paying attention to it now, I don't remember if we ever see this cloaking ship again. And then finally at the very end, we see Trench has died. I don't think he's died. I seriously doubt it because, for one, it's a show, so they're going to have to try to bring these reoccurring villains back. And they even said in this episode that they thought he had died before, so it is what it is. The next episode, Hidden Enemy, it's kind of a slow burn. Like most of this series, it's very like whodunit, conspiracy theory. And for this whole one, like, evidently a clone is a traitor. This episode does introduce Ventress, which I thought was interesting and both positive and negative because they don't give, like, any backstory. I don't know if they'll do it later on, but, like, they just go right into it like we should know who she is. And, I mean, I did watch the first Clone Wars TV show, so I do know who she is. But if I was just watching this blindly, like, I don't know who you are. But she has the double lightsaber. Probably my favorite scene is when Anakin and Obi-Wan are, like, walking towards her, and she just turns on the lightsaber into the floor, and it just collapses. It was beautifully done. Like, it's a great filming style. So I like that. And then the whole, like, end scene, like that the clone general, whatever his name was, Slick, I think, is the traitor. He's the one who was giving out all the secrets and everything, which I like and I don't like, because when I think of the clones, to be completely honest, like, I'm surprised they're not treated more like droids. Like, who cares if like a million of them die? We still have a whole bunch more. And that's kind of what this episode is about. Like, you're just using us, and it's not right. So I'm really interested to see how that storyline continues to play on. So that brings us to the pilot movie, which I'm going to tell you. So I remember when this movie first came out, and this was my first introduction, and I absolutely hated it. And because I watched it, it was probably like 2009 at that point. Like, the series had started. And I was like, I'm going to watch this. And then I watched this movie and I was like, I am not going to watch this. I hated it so much. And I thought it was so bad. For one, it's a little bit over an hour and a half. Why? Because it's only like 4 episodes jam-packed together. Like, it's not a movie where it's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Every 30 minutes, beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, it's so quick. And it's like, it's really difficult to get into it. So, rewatching it, to be honest, I'm still like not super excited. It didn't wow me at all. And so the whole like plot, like the opening plot, for one, they do this in most of the episodes, if not every episode. I don't remember, at least the last 3. The opening announcement, like, instead of this giant like scrawl like going up the screen like the movies do, they just replace it with the announcer voice, like, a planet in siege. And it's like, okay. And so we learn that Jabba the Hutt's son has been killed, or kidnapped, sorry, not killed. Jabba the Hutt's son has been kidnapped, which instantly I'm like, why have we never heard about this kid before? Like, you're forcing characters into the continuity, which, I mean, I guess it works, but still, like, why has he never been referenced? So we're going through, and they're like, well, who can we send to save them? And Mace Windu has this throwaway line where it's like, well, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker have just captured the planet of Kratosis. And I was like, that's where those last episodes came from. That's why they're prequels. I get it now. So, like, little things like that, I guarantee you, when I was watching this in, like, just in, like, broadcast order, never picked up on that, ever. Because it's just the little things that I didn't care about. And maybe if I did broadcast order again, I would pick up on it. Viewing order, already, 1, 2, and 3, I'm so, like, I get the story now. So we're there, we meet Ahsoka, who is here for Anakin and not Obi-Wan. And I'm still a little bit confused because, like, Anakin is not, like, a master, so I don't get why he has a Padawan. Like, I don't know. I don't understand a lot of the Star Wars continuity or, like, the mythology behind it. So if someone can explain it to me, which is why I'm watching all of this, because to me, Anakin is still under Obi-Wan, so he shouldn't have a Padawan. So, I don't know. I think I'm missing a step in there, and it could be super obvious to everybody but me, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't get that. We see Dooku. We see the Emperor. We see Ventress again. So again, like, I want more backstory on Ventress. I'm super excited to see what that's over. And after the Kratosis battle is over, look at that. It's at the 30-minute point. So that's the whole first episode. And now we move on. Anakin and Ahsoka find the baby, which was kind of like, I like the animation style for the people. Like, I think, like, Anakin looks great, Ahsoka looks great, because they're kind of based off of, especially, like, Anakin and Obi-Wan, they're based off of people. Ahsoka's a little bit more cartoony, but that baby's just bad. Like, it is just really bad. So they're after the baby. Obi-Wan goes to see Jabba. The Obi-Wan and Ventress fight was bitchin'. Like, it was really, really well done. Stinky, as Jabba the Hutt's kid is nicknamed, it gets really sick. Too bad you can't heal people with the Force. So there's that. When Ahsoka tries to, like, get him healed, they pull up a hologram of a medical droid. Like, that was just, like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm so into Star Trek, like, I think of the EMH, but it's a hologram of a droid. Like, if you're going to do a hologram, why not just do a hologram of, like, an alien or a person or somebody? But the hologram of a droid just kind of was weird to me. end of like the second episode. And then when Amidala goes to talk to Jabba the Hutt's uncle, Zero, this was the moment I hated it, because he's clearly based off of like Truman Capote. And it just annoyed the shit out of me. Like the way he talked, the way he acted, and everything about him, I absolutely hated it. The battle between Dooku and Anakin was, again, very, very well done. Like when he slashes through the backpack, and it's like, oh, psych, we already took the baby to Jabba. And reuniting the two of them was a bittersweet moment. But again, seeing all of this in hindsight, where it's like, oh, we just got the Republic and Jabba together, well, it turns out that's not going to be a good thing in like 10 years. So, I don't know. This whole movie, because it's basically just episodes pushed together, didn't do it for me as much. If they were separated, I probably would actually enjoy them more, because it's not actually a movie. But I don't know. So I'm really curious what you guys think about Clone Wars. Like, where's the pulse? Like, what do you guys love? What do you guys hate? What are you excited for? I'm going to just kind of take it episode by episode, because I know there's single episodes, and I also know that there's story arc episodes. So I'm just going to kind of watch it until I feel like it's a good point, and then stop it, and then we'll do reviews of those groups together. So what do you guys think? Go ahead, let me know. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time for part 2.